Have you ever thought to yourself, how did we end up here? Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror and just wondered how on earth things could have gotten to the point where they are at? Have you ever been so devastated and so disappointed that you're just not sure how you're going to recover? I'm sure most of you can relate because hurt is part of the human experience. And I really want to briefly unpack that today and encourage you that hurt hurts, but you can recover and you can heal. If it's your first time joining us this morning, welcome. My name is Francesca McDowell and I am here on Monday Moments with Fran. It started off about almost 3 years ago as a way to encourage people on the Monday morning. I am a leadership coach and I help high achievers to make progress in areas of their lives. And encouragement is one of the biggest ways in which I actually provide support. And like I said, today I want to talk about hurt because it hurts, right? It is one of the most challenging, I would say, human experiences that you and I can have because it's often very unexpected. It's often can come through the hands of people who are around our lives. Hurt comes in many different ways. Yes, we can be hurt physically and also emotionally, psychologically, but however you hurt, it's your present reality and it's uncomfortable. And this whole encouragement today came about through a conversation with a friend I was having last night. And she was just sharing some of her personal story. And she said a line that was so profound. And it's so profound, I can't even quote it because it was really hers. But what I drew from that was the concept that hurt is a filter. Hurt can be a filter for how we think, how we speak, how we hear, how we go through other situations. Good morning, Atentia. Good mornings. It's so nice to see you guys on with me live today. And so, as I was saying, hurt can be a filter. We can then just see a situation, but not see it for its truth because we're still hurting. We can see somebody and rather than see them for exactly who and what they present, instead our brain figures a way to think, well, they look a little bit like so-and-so and the other person hurt me, so I'm going to relate to them in that way. And it can be so dangerous and it can be so destructive. And so this week, the encouragement is around restoration. It's around recovering from hurt. But in the same way, when you and I go to visit the doctor and we say, oh, I have an issue, and the doctor says, well, where's the issue? Unless you're able to pinpoint and say, well, actually, it's my arm that's hurting, he then can't provide the right solution to manage that situation or to manage that hurt. And I feel like sometimes you and I have to be very serious and very honest with ourselves and say, you know what, actually, I am hurting. This experience happened to me. Someone said something to me and it has caused me damage. Because when we get to that point of acknowledgement and recognition, that is then when we can get healing. Because like we said, we can't identify the issue. How do we get healing from it? I'm currently working on a project all to do with this area. And as part of my research, I was interviewing different individuals who'd experienced different types of hurt. And it was really unexpected, if I'm honest, and very emotional at times. For me, more so because of the impact. When someone is across from you and they're sharing an experience that happened 12, 15 years ago, and their eyes are filling up and their words start to feel a little bit choked because they're still hurting, that was painful to experience. Because nobody should be living in consistent hurt, pain, and damage. You and I were not created to live in this way. It's actually incredibly dangerous on every single level. Spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, physically, all of it is intertwined and it's so dangerous. And so I am encouraging you and imploring you to really seek healing if you know that you've got a hurt, and find a way that's relevant for you to go on a process to recover, because recovery is possible. Like, you can recover from hurt. You can absolutely bounce back from a situation. And I would argue if you get thorough, deep healing, which in my experience comes from the Lord, you can come back stronger and equipped, ready to face the next season in life. Many times people are walking around wounded. Many times people are walking around offended because of stuff that's happened. And I know, because I've been there, like I've had so many experiences that I will be sharing, in the next couple of months through my new book that's coming out. But I just really wanted to take this time out this morning to encourage you, particularly if you are feeling a bit tender, particularly if there are things happening around that are just feeling sore and you're reminded that, you know what, something's going on right here. You can absolutely recover from someone or something that has hurt you. And I've said it before and I'll reiterate it here. Recovery, forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean complete restoration of a relationship if that's where the hurt was actually inflicted. It's more about restoration and recovery within yourself, making sure that you are okay. Because when people hurt us, when we experience damaging situations, we have to forgive. And actually, forgiveness is the first step of healing. We acknowledge, we forgive, and we can then start healing. Absolutely, it is necessary to move forward in life. Purpose is incredibly powerful. You and I are purposed. You and I exist, breathe, and live for a very specific reason. But if we're wrapped up in hurt, if we're wrapped up in trauma, if we're wrapped up in memories of what we've experienced, how are we going to live the full purpose that God has set for our life? Because although it's our purpose, it's often positioned to serve other people. It's often positioned to serve our communities, our families, our homes, our businesses, our ministries, but we have to be at a good place to do that. So, hurt hurts. Absolutely, I acknowledge that. And actually, I'm sorry if you are hurting, because it's a really awful experience. But healing and hope and recovery is possible. And so this week, my encouragement to you is take that journey of healing. Forgive if you need to forgive, and be intentional about focus on your healing, because you are worth that journey. I hope you've managed to take away a nugget from this encouragement today, and whatever was meaningful for you, you really captured that, and I pray you run with it and actually implement it. I think as a coach, my big thing is it's great to hear things, but implementation and action is where the real difference lies. Okay, so do something different this week to go on your journey of healing. Have a great week ahead of you. Don't forget to encourage somebody else. And I will see you next week, where I will have a guest on with me and we'll be sharing an encouragement via that way. Have a great week and take good care. God bless.